Henry and Aaron Arrowsmith, in the House Decorator and Painter's Guide of 1840, observed that, quote, the present age is distinguished from all others in having no style which can properly be called its own. The revivalist movement is often referred to as the Second Renaissance, a period in which designers, artists, and creators around the world revitalized ancient styles from neoclassical to the Rococo to the classic Greek and Roman styles, and oftentimes would even combine them together to create new, unique, and blended styles. And that is why when I saw this next tarot deck, I was really excited and interested to see how it was put together. So stick around, because we're going to be diving into the Revival Art Tarot. Hey Tarot Tribe, it's Dustin from A Modern Metaphysic Man, and today I thought we could hang out and take a look at the Revival Art Tarot cards by Tarocco Studio. I was really excited when I saw this deck come up because I'm a huge fan of Renaissance art, and of course because of the nature of the revival movement, I also really love and appreciate revival art. So I was really excited to get this deck. This is a deck that has been done by the same creators as the Victorian Tarot, which is one of my all-time favorite decks. And I've done a full walkthrough of this deck and review, so if you're interested in it, I will put a link to it in the description below and you can check it out. As always, I will be sure to put links to where you can find out more information about the creator and where you can pick up the deck in the description box below, along with all of my contact information, where you can reach out and connect with me, as well as where you can book a personal reading with me. So be sure to click that down arrow and check out all the good stuff down there. So yeah, let's dive into this. It comes in a pretty standard talk box, just like the Victorian Tarot, and it's nothing crazy or nothing terrible, but it's a nice, more sturdy tuck box, which I do like, so it will last a little while. It does come with a little white book. The little white book I was actually rather disappointed in, because it doesn't include information about the titles and artists of the paintings that are used within the deck. So that was really disappointing. I think it's really important that if you're gonna do an art deck that uses classical art or art that is available to the public through what's the word I'm looking for, that isn't under copyright anymore, because it's been so long, that you still credit the art and give information about the artist and the title of the piece. So that was a little disappointing, but the book itself has some really great interpretations of the cards. The print is a little small, but it's not bad, but it's not great. So that's the little book. The backs I really love, and they are fully reversible, and I love it because it's almost like she's standing on the edge of water, right? So you get this almost reflective quality, which kind of speaks to the nature of tarot and kind of looking through the veil and things like that. But it's a really lovely image. And the backs are really great. The cardstock is amazing. I love Tarocco Studios cardstock. It is by far my all-time favorite cardstock. It has a matte quality. It's nice and thick, but it's still flexible. And it's really, really nice. It's really, really quality cardstock. So let's take a look at this deck. We'll do a quick flip through, and then we'll talk about some of the cards that stood out to me. So that is the Revival Art Tarot by Tarocco Studios. I really like this deck. I think they did a really good job of really choosing imagery that speaks to the tarot and speaks to the cards that they represent. I love the border on this deck. I think it is exquisite, and it's perfect. And I love the inclusion of the suit at the bottom, as well as the number and or the title at the top on the minors. I think it works really well, especially because, you know, in a lot of these paintings, we don't have the standard sort of inclusion of the swords and cups and things like that. And I actually like the fact that they didn't go through and photo manipulate and add those into these images, because I think the images that they selected really work well and go well with the meaning of the cards that they represent, right? You know, the style is absolutely on point and cohesive. You know, things like, you know, this 8 of coins, where you really get the sense of that mastering your craft sort of aspect. You know, the 4 of coins, where you have the miser, right? This is very miserly, and you can tell this man is very obsessed with his money, because he's there, you know, carefully counting out every single you know, penny in his purse to make sure that it's all there, you know. And the deck does really follow a standard traditional RWS sort of stint. I absolutely adore this 6 of cups, because I mean, how much more can you express that that sort of nostalgia feeling and looking to the past in a positive way, right? And living in the past in a good way. And you can see this elderly woman sort of you know, experiencing that through, you know, playing with this child on a swing. It's just, it's exquisitely done and well thought out. You know, you can tell the creators really took a lot of time in choosing the cards and choosing the images for the cards in a way that will really resonate with the traditional meaning of the cards. Here we have the 8 of wands. You still really get that sense of movement. It feels like she's flying, right? You don't need those 8 wands shooting through the sky to really get that in this card, right? So, you know, I think they did a really good job. The quality of the images is great. You know, sometimes with decks where they use paintings, they can come out really grainy and almost pixelated, which is not always the best, but, you know, they really did a good job. This 4 of swords here with the dog and the knight at rest is just wonderful. I love this 2 of swords, you know, because you have this woman sitting on this plinth almost with 2 cherub whispering in her ears, right? So you still get that sense of choice, right? And even a little bit of a blind choice, right? Because cherubim being, you know, more of a divine being, right? Obviously, it's almost like her subconscious is giving her these choices, and she's gotta make the choice. I love the sun card. You know, our creepy baby isn't creepy. He's just a really happy little kid with his drum, and I just thought that was wonderful. You know, the tower, the sky, and that choice of the lighting that exists within this card is amazing. I mean, absolutely amazing. You know, I just think, you know, the wheel and the hermit both, you know, they both have this really great sense of light and quality and life to them that is relevant not only to the major arcana, but to the period and art that exists here. And the thing that I love about revival art, you know, when you look at the Renaissance was all about realism in an idealistic way, right? When we look at a classic portrait like the portrait of Henry VIII, which I'm sure everyone, you know, can see in their mind's eye right now, where he's standing with his hands on his hips, right? although it is realistic, it is still very idealized, right? And when you get to the revivalist movement, they move away from that to really just portraying realism, right? And not only the beauty, but the beauty of imperfections in life. I love this Empress card. You get the very motherly feeling, out of that card, which is great. And the Magician card is just absolutely wonderful. He's got all of his tools in front of him. He's kind of an alchemist and things like that. So that is the Revival Art Tarot cards. I really enjoy them. Again, the cardstock and quality of this deck is just wonderful. The backs are great. It's just a really well put together art deck. If you're into art decks and that sort of thing, I would definitely check this one out. It is really great. So be sure to check out Tarocco Studios and all of their wonderful products, because they have some really wonderful decks out there. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below about this deck, and if you have it, I would love to hear what your thoughts are on it, and if it's one that you really enjoy. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments below. And as always, I super appreciate all of you coming to hang out with me and check out decks and talk about the tarot. As always, remember, everyone is fighting a battle that you know nothing about, so be kind always. Bye everybody.